If you want to get an unfair advantage for your business, one of the best things you can do is be on the cutting edge. So let me give you an example. So back in the early days when I first started my business, this is going back about 24 years, I was talking to people about the power of free reports and lead magnets and offering your first service for free, all of that sort of thing. And I was looked at with skepticism. Nobody believed that. You take it now 15, 20, 24 years later, and everyone's starting to do that. So back then, by doing that, you got a massive unfair advantage because everyone was skeptical, right? And the mass population is always going to take time. We see this right across the board. You can see this right now with skepticism of the government. In 2020, there was very little skeptical of the government. Over time, 2025, there's far more. So we can apply this to business. We can apply this to any aspect of life. So right now, for instance, we did something with one of our clients where we set up a decision tree. And that's like the next step of a lead magnet, which is, gets far more nuanced information. And they're finding that people who fill out that, who go through that process, they have an extremely high percentage of them book in an appointment. And that's because they're on the cutting edge. They're doing something different. Their prospects haven't seen it before. So that gives them the edge. So bottom line, if you want an unfair advantage, go to events, read books, stay on the cutting edge and implement fast. I mean, one of the things that I was able to do in the early days is when Google Ads were like 9 cents a click, I was advertising in there and building an email list. And I built a sizable email list and sent emails, and it really, got the trajectory of my career quite quickly. Whereas if I was doing that now, that would be a far more expensive process because everyone's, not most people, but a lot of people have caught on to that strategy. So if you're on the cutting edge, you will get lower lead costs. You will be able to build your business faster, and you'll be able to get an unfair advantage over everyone who takes time to catch up. So it's like that. You've probably seen it, the bell curve, the curve that goes up like that. And, you've got the early adopters, and then you've got the mass population, and then you have everyone else, right? So you have that curve that goes up. So you want to be on the start of that curve to get an unfair advantage in your business.